Why the One Love campaign is important is that it has been found in research that in the sub-Saharan region of Africa, people don't necessarily have more sex than other parts of the world. What we do have is we have more relationships at the same time, in the same period, with more than one person.
In 2006, a SADC think tank meeting in Maseru, Lesotho, identified multiple and concurrent sexual partnerships, MCPs, between men and women in the context of low condom use and low levels of male circumcision as the key drivers of the HIV epidemic in Southern Africa.
Soulcity has been working with partners in 9 SADC countries over the past 5 years. And together over the past 18 months, we've conducted this extraordinary research looking into multiple concurrent partners. And what the research showed was, firstly, that multiple concurrent partners was a common practice in all the countries where we were working. And secondly, there was a huge commonality around the reasons behind that. We need to work regionally for a number of reasons. One, because there's a strong historical interconnection between the countries in this region. We, through travel and trade, share many common problems, concerns, we share a history. And so we need to find solutions to problems together. And also SADC has made a call to scale up a regional response to HIV prevention. And really this is the first time on such a massive scale there's a coordinated regional response.
In response to the SADC call, the One Love campaign was born. It is a 3-year unique, exciting and unprecedented collaboration between local partners across Southern Africa.
So the campaign is going to roll out across the region over the next year and a half. And each country is designing their own local campaign, which has a combination of mass media, print, television, radio, as well as on-the-ground social mobilization programs. Tanzania has already launched very successfully at the end of last year.
Hii ni Fema TV Talk Show, tunakwambia One Love.
Mlinde, mheshimu na umusishe.
Lesotho is launching on the 15th of January, and the other countries are rolling out over the year.
One Love is a social change campaign which is creating awareness about the risks of MCPs and getting everyone talking about the sexual choices we make and the cultural values that put us at risk, as well as those that protect us. One Love encourages all of us to think about and change some of the ways we love in this time of HIV and AIDS.
What we are wanting to do as Soulcity and the partners of Soulcity is to get people to begin to examine what is it within our relationships with each other that is making it possible for HIV to spread.
It seems quite a simple thing, stick to one partner, but in fact there are a huge amount of determinants which cause people to have many partners, and we need to be addressing those issues.
I think we are challenging a social norm that is going to get people talking, and I think what is going to be exciting is the kind of debates that are going to come up around how do we reduce the number of partners.
And the objective of this campaign is to decrease new infections by 10%.
The term multiple concurrent sexual partnerships is used to define a situation where partnerships overlap in time, either where 2 or more partnerships continue over the same time period, or where one partnership begins before the other terminates. But why is having multiple and concurrent partners a problem?
People don't understand that when they have more than one sexual partner, they are now linking themselves into a sexual network, and sometimes a gigantic sexual network. And all it takes is one person in that network to become infected, and the HIV spreads through that network like wildfire, and people get infected. And so what we're trying to say to people is understand what this invisible network is about.
The risk of HIV transmission in such sexual networks is even higher when it is considered that a person is most infectious during the first 6 weeks of contracting HIV. 18 months in development, this campaign is based on groundbreaking research into MCPs conducted across 9 African countries. This research found many reasons for having multiple sexual partners. A common one was sexual and emotional dissatisfaction with a main partner, which was reinforced and deepened by a total lack of communication between partners about sex and their relationship.
I see.
There are also numerous cultural and social norms that encourage men to have more than one partner and discourage women from talking about their sexual needs or from leaving a relationship in which she is at a risk of contracting HIV.
Sometimes.
In countries where there are large differences in wealth, as is the case in many southern African countries, transactional sex becomes very common and sometimes the only means of survival for some families. If the powerful party in the relationship insists on not using a condom, it puts everyone at risk.
Please.
Alcohol is well known to impair people's judgment, and it has been found that people who drink more alcohol also have higher HIV rates. They often have unplanned and unprotected sex.
For me, what is exciting is that different partners are coming together and they are lending their support, they are lending their resources, they are lending their platforms to the One Love campaign. Specifically with each and every organization, we have found a niche through which we can collaborate.
The CDC, or the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, is a U.S. part of the U.S. government. For us, this is a great program. It offers us an opportunity to begin to look at truly dealing with the incidence of HIV that we have in this area and making sure that at some point we will win this war.
What if you could buy a new start?
A new start that allows you to plan your life better.
One that helps you be a better parent.
New Start is an HIV testing center that gives you a confidential and accurate HIV test result within an hour.
The One Love campaign is exciting from our organization's perspective because it addresses a key area in HIV prevention that we haven't addressed before. The way that we're going to get involved going forwards is we are going to address MCP using our brands. With New Start, our voluntary counselling and testing brand, our counselling will change to include elements of MCP, as well our pack inserts on Lovers Plus and Trust condoms. And in addition to that, our youth AIDS programs in the townships and schools will also be addressing this issue.
So there's lekker things out there, ne? Check out this Malumi over here. Yeah, so he's got a big house and 3 small houses. But this one's got the Minister of Transport, Housing and Culture, who's got his cougar, her sugar daddies, his shubabs, side pieces, valley, makwapenis, booty calls, and a spare wheel. Check, HIV come to visit just one, and we've got 169 problems in no...
Basically, Scrutinize deals with a lot of the behaviors that One Love is also trying to highlight, and we've agreed to integrate the One Love message into some of our messaging, but we do tackle a lot of the themes that One Love is highlighting.
The AIDS Consortium is a human rights organization aimed at the response of people living and affected by HIV and AIDS. So what is exciting about this particular campaign, the One Love campaign, is that for the first time civil society is able to speak with one voice and drive one message. In the last decade we've had different messages and sometimes conflicting messages. And now we are able to help communities to dialogue and debate around the very issue that the One Love campaign is driving. So we interact with about 300 community-based organizations. So at these meetings we're able to debate and dialogue with these community-based organizations. They will in turn then go back and debate and dialogue around the One Love campaign in their communities. What we hope to achieve through this campaign is to equip people with information tools to help them make informed choices around their sexual relationships, and using the One Love campaign to drive that message around multiple concurrent partners.
After nearly 90 years of life, it is time for new heads to lift the burdens. It is in your hands now.
This campaign is absolutely critical because it has long-term implications for how people behave within intimate relationships, but also between the genders, also between families, between communities. And the spillover effects, I think, will be lasting and will have a positive contribution towards our society, because people are re-evaluating their norms, their behaviors, their lifestyles in a very radical way. 46664 is Nelson Mandela's HIV/AIDS awareness and prevention campaign. In terms of the prevention campaign, we're very active at schools, where we use the medium of industrial theatre to deliver messages about HIV prevention in particular. And this One Love campaign gives us the opportunity to integrate those themes into our existing industrial theatre platform. Over and above that, we will approach all the 46664 ambassadors to become spokespersons for One Love as well.
Love Life's role in the campaign is that first we are in as partners in the overall campaign. The second thing is that we are supporting in terms of media. We've got radio shows that at community level across the country. So what we will do is that we'll introduce the topic, and then people will phone in and then have a discussion about what are the disadvantages of having multi-concurrent partners and other issues. Also with Uncut, which is distributed nationwide, we will have sections whereby we run an article, and in most cases people write in letters to say, this is what we think about the article, making recommendations. We hope that with that kind of direct interaction with the community, it will assist us in starting to get the discussions going on this issue.
Our specific role is to ensure that we fund Soul City to ensure that they go into strategic HIV/AIDS campaigns that would ensure that we inform the broader public and communities about the effects of HIV/AIDS and basically on how to prevent it. We are presently now working with Soul City in 8 of the countries in sub-Saharan Africa, and that in that way we're able to reach 10 million people. And it is as a result of its success and the working relationship that we have with them.
It's been significant that we have brought together a number of organizations and developed all assortment of materials that are geared up to support communities. We are lending all our media resources to the campaign. Our next television series will basically focus on multiple and concurrent partners, and we've developed a storyline, researched it, and developed it around One Love. Our radio show, which will go out in 9 radio stations in 9 languages, will focus on multiple and concurrent partners. We've created a toolkit which will comprise books on HIV in relationships, a book on the One Love campaign suggesting what communities can do to participate in the campaign. Banners, posters, t-shirts will go out to the different communities. We are planning question and answer dialogues through our Soul Buddies clubs throughout schools that are participating in the Soul Buddies club movement across the country. We are working with community radio stations to have talk shows, One Love talk shows, the day after every broadcast of the television series. We are also going to hold dialogues, community dialogues in all the provinces, giving up an opportunity to community members to basically talk about the One Love campaign.
Because culture is often cited as a reason for having multiple concurrent partners, we are embarking on a huge media advocacy campaign with many partners to look at the role of culture in HIV prevention and in MCP in particular. The partners include the South African Human Rights Commission, the South African Language Board, the Moral Regeneration Movement, and Contralesa. We want the nation to debate this issue.
It's a mass media campaign, but it also has an on-the-ground component. So at the mass media level, we reach everybody and we tell everybody what the messaging is through our television and radio. But on the ground, it gives the opportunity for people to debate these issues, because there aren't easy answers necessarily to some of the issues. And we're wanting communities to actually debate, discuss, take these issues forward and find solutions within communities.
We are the role models for our children. We owe it to them to educate ourselves and talk about HIV risk, to learn to communicate respectfully with our partners, to protect our partners, families and loved ones, and ensure that we do everything in our power to stop the spread of HIV.